Mark Antoni, co-founder.
Ryan Hammond, co-founder of Travello. Travello is a social network for travellers, available on mobile platforms. Okay, so before we went into the accelerator, we had a fully working platform released on Android and released on iOS. We had around 20,000 downloads, so we had some traction. We were being used in over 100 odd countries by that point, so we were well and truly up and running by the time the accelerator came around.
The accelerator, yeah, we definitely had traction. We probably had about 30,000 users by that stage. It was going well, but we feel the Community program would really just help us get more direction. We definitely needed some schooling. It was our first venture into the tech world, so all the networks and the mentoring, it was extremely beneficial for us as founders and also as a company.
We pretty much doubled during the time. So in the 6 months that we were in the accelerator, we pretty much doubled the growth that we had before that. So it was a really good experience, I guess, for us. But I think probably the benefits internally for the company were more beneficial than the growth milestones that we hit. So I think we actually grew as a company, we grew as founders much more than we grew from a user base. And I think in the long run, we'll get much more value out of that.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, I think as founders and as a business, it was it was the best thing we could have did to get a Community accelerator. It really enabled us to grow, and just the experience and also the trip to Silicon Valley just widened our eyes about what we needed to do to succeed.
Well, one of the things we learned early on is about the value of connections and the fact that networks you make throughout the program, both internally to the program, externally, you don't know where they're going to lead. And so following through with a lot of those connections held us in good stead when we were looking to fundraise. So there were moments where we didn't think much would eventuate from certain connections that we had, but in the end those connections actually proved to be really valuable from an investment perspective.
It's something that we also, it enabled us to close this round. A big part of the program is pitch practice and how to pitch and slide decks and that sort of thing. And we were fairly green in that regards. And through MirrorD, that schooled us how to the best way to do that. And that was, very important in closing the round and the whole investment raising process. Yeah.
I think the accelerator, we didn't really pivot, but what it did allow us to do is to really crystallise our direction. So it gave us a chance to really focus on what we were doing, make sure what we were doing was right. The mentors and the guidance we had around that was really reassuring for us. So we didn't have a major pivot, but what it allowed us to do was to really focus in on the product, focus in on the business model and make sure it was the right way forward. Yeah, since the accelerator finished, we opened a round of funding or a round of investment prior to the conclusion of the accelerator program. About 3 weeks ago, we actually closed that round of investment, which has allowed us to bring on another 3 staff, move out of River City Labs into our own office, and it's going to give us opportunities we didn't have in regards to scale and marketing activities. So we've really got every opportunity ahead of us now, and like we learned in the program, it's pretty much up to us to execute now.
Yeah, not too much. It's really the next phase now. We've made some new hires. We've got some investment now to work with. It's all in front of us, so it's just up to us now to make it work.
I think it doesn't really matter what stage of business you're at. I think this accelerator can really help you. In our cohort, there were companies who were at the very, very early stages, in fact hadn't even decided on what their product was, that were coming into the accelerator, and we were probably the most advanced product with a product out there getting traction and working towards product market fit. So I don't think you're ever too old to be in this accelerator program. I think it gives you a really good opportunity to focus in on your business and make the best opportunity out of it.
Yeah, I think before we were probably meandering a bit, like we didn't know where we were heading, but it definitely gave us some real direction as a company, and highly recommend to give it a crack and try and get in there.